attic corner. My favorite part of this whole life is, well, my crafts table. This is where I come to heal. So, guess what, everybody? I did exactly what I was going to do. I'll get to that in a moment, but I am going to actually do this glass, and where's that? And then I'm going to paint this. And I'm going to tell you what I have in a moment. But first, I'm going to trace this. And you guys, I'm sorry I did not bring a kitchen segment today, because guess what? I got a ton of food in my refrigerator from all the weeks that I've been cooking. And plus, I brought things back from my niece's bridal shower, so I got a ton of food in my refrigerator. So I'll bring it back to you possibly next Sunday. Until then, I'm going to be at the crafts table, and I'm also going to bring you other stories. So now I am going to do my vase. So here we go. All right. Now I'm going to start from up here. Oh, wait, where's my glasses? Oh, here they are. Yeah, can't start without my glasses. Now, first, I'm going to come from up here and then trace my flower right here. And since it's see-through, I won't have to okay. Yeah, didn't work out, so I'm going to actually have to okay. Okay. Now, it looks like Eyes to See is, I mean, she says she's doing well and she's and and she's not as sick, but then again, I mean, yeah, what's going on? Is she still sick? I don't know. That is remains to see. But you know what? Give her your best wishes. Go to her channel and give her your best. All right, so now I'm going to trace this. All right. Now I'm going to put the greens. No, got to do with this again. But you'll never guess. Oh boy. Do I have anything to say? Well, guess what? I'm trying to come up with something. But you know what? This is the place where I actually come to unwind. And when you guys come out of Scientology, and you guys in the protest world, when you help all the Scientologists get out of Scientology, it's oh, and you actually give them their aid, you would get in touch with them at the Aftermath Foundation because that's what they're there for. So, oh my gosh. If you guys are tuning out to me, I don't blame you because I'm trying to come up with something, even though I'm trying to improv on it. So here we go. Okay. All right, there. Now I'm going to come down and bring this down and then make a little net, a fold over. Okay, I'm going to pull this over like this. And then all right, it looks like I like this one better than this one because it really brought out the features of that lily, and it's fabulous. So, okay. Should I actually bring it like that? Maybe, oh, well, you know what? It's already dry. Nah, I can't. It's already dry. Otherwise, I would have redid that whole thing. So then I am going to, okay, I did that. Now I'm going to come and then here and bring the stem down. It's going to be so fabulous, guys. I'm telling you. Now, what happened at my niece's shop? I just had such a great time. And oh boy, yeah, like I said, I brought home a ton of food and it's sitting in a refrigerator. All right. Now, what's going on in the protest world? It's really quiet. Yeah, nobody's getting hurt. And it's really mellow. And guess what? The Scientologists are freaking out right now because Aaron beat them at their own game. Because they lost the whole entire case and thinking, oh no, we better not try that stunt again. So it looks like, yeah, they're not going to pour any more buckets of water on the protesters anymore. But are they going to anyway? I say let's keep watching and find out. So, okay. Now, okay, I'm going to bring down the stem. All right. And of course, you know, Aaron's next trial is coming up. A trial which is a total waste of time and energy, including taxpayers' money, for the prosecution to go forward with. And what the prosecution is doing is wasting taxpayers' money because guess what? There was actually no crime committed. Aaron is fine. He is entitled to his First Amendment rights, which is protest. But Scientology keeps on being a bunch of babies. So and they keep going after something that's not worth the taxpayers' dollars. Oh, no, I gotta move this over a little bit because those people just don't think at all. They just do whatever they want, waste other people's money, and they just don't care. They think they're the victims, where in fact, okay, some of them are the victims and the perpetrators, but the other ones, OSA is not. But still, even though they are the victims as well, they're causing so many problems for everybody in that town. Even though they're not aware that they're doing it, they are. Okay. All righty. Here we go. I'm going to put this back right here. And this is the stem. And how long is it going to take me to do this? I'm going to take the wait and see approach. Right, bring this down. Yeah. Now, okay, we're going to stop right there at that point. And we are right here. So, okay. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. And then we are actually, let's see. All right. And we are, okay, let me see here. All right, there it is. We're gonna come here. Oh boy. Right. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wait. All right, it's right here. Can't believe I did that. All righty. Let's see. So we're gonna go right up here. We're gonna, oh geez. All right, so we're gonna start to draw the lily right here. There are several different types of lilies. So what type of lily this is? Oh geez, I should just look it up. All right. Then we're gonna go down. Okay. We're gonna have to erase this one. Jeez. Okay. All right, here we go. I really had to press down and scrub. All right. And what this does on a daily basis that I mentioned is it relaxes you, and then it's the best thing for trauma. Now, I'm not a psychologist or a counselor. I'm not claiming to be one. If you would like to see it, sign up for any mental health services, including our therapy, go to the link down below. The one that I highly recommend is NAMI. So, for all the trauma that you have experienced while in a cult, including Scientology. All right. And yeah, the one I highly recommend is NAMI. So, all right. Now, where is that thing? Okay. Oh boy, it's not really big enough, but you know what? I'll I'm gonna let's see here. I'm gonna bring it. All right. Now, bring it down. And then from there, you go back up, and then you put the green spot on there. And it's a perfect, it's not going to, well, it's going to curb your symptoms if you actually take our therapy. Is it a cure? I don't think so. Because first, I'm not in a position to tell you. And second of all, there's really no such thing as a cure when you have mental illness. It's just something that goes with you in your life. All right. And, all right. All right. Okay. And then, okay. Let's see here. And then you would come here, and then you make a curve going down like this. And then you go up, and then you go around curve, and then go down, and then you stop over there. Okay. Whoa, this is just perfect. Is it the most greatest thing I ever did? Probably not, but guess what? I am going to still continue with this. All right, so I'm going to erase this right here. All right. Now, it now it's been a while since we've seen Natalie's live. Now, would she be on the schedule? That's my thing that I'm asking. So I keep saying I'm going to check on it, and I never do. I know I keep saying it and I never do it, but okay. Okay, here, because that's what it looks like. Okay. You know what? Yesterday, I was so stuffed at my niece's wedding that, oh my gosh, I thought I wasn't going to able to eat anything today, but I got so hungry and I didn't make anything. Sorry, guys, because I got a ton of food in my refrigerator and I have no more room to actually make anything. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait maybe until next Saturday and Sunday because yesterday I was detained at my brother's house. So, all right, now, all right, okay, we're gonna take this, go into a curve. All right, then we stop there. All right, and then I think we're gonna make a stem somewhere. All righty, let's see. Ah, okay, so now, guess what? We're going to have to erase this right here. Yeah, they say never pay attention to details and it'll be fine, but guess what? I'm paying too much to detail. Yeah, it's not coming off, so it's going to be okay. I would think so. So then we're going to, oh, okay, so, all right, so we'll just come here. It looks like what I'm talking about is located right here, not there. Okay. So now we're going to make a curve. All right. Oh, okay. Now we're going to take this end off and then put another line going down. Okay, let's see here. All right. Then we're going to take another line going down. Now, this is just the most perfect recovery that you can have. All right. Now, okay. All right. Now I'm gonna curve going down like this. And then we're gonna actually go up here, then make another loop and go down. Now in art, we're not supposed to be paying too much to detail, but guess what? Yet I am. So here we go. And this is the leaf that's somehow I think is connected to here. All right, then I'm gonna go back up here, erase this. Now, even though it's permanent marker, you still are gonna have to erase. So, okay, I'm gonna come up here and just make a curve going up like this, go down here, curve here, go down. Here we go. We got that done. Whew. Wow, that is really the most. Is it sloppy? No, I don't think so. So now, okay. Oh boy, let's see here. Okay. Gonna go back here. Erase this. I am just so lucky that I got this off. So we're gonna go ahead and put the flower back. Now, it doesn't really have to be the same, but in other words, I just made it that way. So we're gonna go back up here and we're gonna make the flower, the lily. All right, and then we're gonna curve. And then take it, go down. All right. Nah, didn't work out. So we're gonna actually erase it. And then art, you're not really supposed to pay too much to detail at all. But sometimes it's not gonna really come out the same. And I'm being too much of a perfectionist when it comes to this because it's supposed to be just relaxing and so let's try it again. Go down. And we're going to put the green spot right there. All right. There. Now we're going to go up. And then curve down like this. Go up. Then go down. Okay, there. Now, is it great? No, we're going to actually get rid of this up here. Now, let's see here. Now, each and every protest that takes place, those doors would be shut. And Scientology is not able to recruit, believe it or not. So the protesters really did their job by being out there in front of it and just closing those doors so nobody would go in. I mean, do they manage to succeed? Sometimes, but now I don't really think anyone's going in there as much because now they know what's going on. Some of them now, without the warning of protesters, won't go in there. So Scientology wants to, their intent is to run and hide. So they actually would close those doors. But guess what? If they do that, then that means that would mean that they're unable to get anyone into those doors. So it's a real clever mechanism that the protesters come up with. All right, there. And now, oh, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Here, I'm going to make this curve going down. Yeah, I'm not doing so great today. They said that my med's not going to come in until Tuesday, and it's so I'm going to have to call them today and just find out whether or not they're in. So I went a certain amount of days without it, so I have to mention it to my mental health provider. So, and then you'll understand once you get into mental health what it'd be like to actually get the treatments. Okay, this has to go up a little more further, so let me do that. And you know what? And this is just working because every time Scientology would come up with a recruitment tactic, now they actually fail. It wasn't like before where they would recruit and they got a new member. Their numbers are shrinking, and they're not getting in the people that they used to getting. Okay, so I'm gonna make another leaf right here. It is, yeah, they're just not failing. And David Miscavige keeps making up a fishtail that they got 10 million members, where in fact they can't get one through the door. And here in Ohio, they only have 13 members. And guess what? 11 of them are at one town, which is Columbus, Mass. I'm not Mass, Columbus, Ohio. So the other two only have one member in one building and two in another. Now, which number is this? Right now, I don't think anyone knows that. So when I actually protest, if I start protesting, I'm going to think, now which building has the most people in there? It would be the one in Columbus because two of them, there's two more orgs, one in Parma and the other in Cincinnati. Parma is another town in Ohio. And in Cincinnati's, yeah, the farthest away. So which number has the two and the other has the one? Yeah, I don't think we know because they said they have those members and they keep building these buildings and not getting any members. And it's just ridiculous that they're not thinking. Yeah. David Miscavige keeps building these buildings and nobody's going in. So it's a complete waste of taxpayers' dollars. And should have this IRS give them their tax exempt status in the first place? I don't think so. Because what they're doing is just wasting it. So they should have just said, well, you know what, forget it. But they didn't. So now we're actually stuck with them for now. Now, where it's a rich man or poor man's money, it doesn't make it right either way, because the rich also has their rights. And guess what? They might be thinking the same thing that us white collars are thinking, or maybe vice versa. This is a complete waste. I bet you they're thinking that right now. Okay. So take your time and then just write to your local Congress and ask him how they would feel if they, about them, about Scientology losing their tax exempt status. Because right now I'm thinking they don't deserve it at all. Because part of being tax exempt is to pay the bills that are in that building, paying the electric bills, paying the mortgage, pay, instead of opening one building from another. Originally, that's what the tax exempt status is for. Now, it doesn't really necessarily have to be a religion, but there are, it could be anywhere from an animal shelter to the homeless. It can be any cause, not just a church or a synagogue. It can be any organization, but it has to be nonprofit. Scientology is a profit mechanism. They've been lying all along. It is not a nonprofit. Some of them actually go to a nonprofit, but a good portion of it goes into David Miscavige's pocket. So Scientology doesn't deserve tax exempt status. I mean, they lost it once for obvious reason, because L. Ron Hubbard was using it to line his pockets. So they took it away from him, and then all of a sudden they get it back? That doesn't make any kind of sense. And it's because they were afraid of them. That's the only explanation for all this. All right. Now, this is actually taking a little bit more time to actually do this, since I have to go around. But guess what? I'm going to go on. I'm going to pull this aside for now, because I have to go in and around and all around. And I actually wanted to paint this and come up with another project so none of you would get bored and only see one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull this one aside. All right. And I got another magazine that I'm going to use. So now I'm going to start painting this, and guess what? I said what I was going to do, and I did it. I got new paint. so let's see what colors I have. I have white. Now, it can be for wood, paper, canvas, metal, tin, terracotta, glass. It can be for any of them. This is the best paint we can actually use. This, I'm not going to use it until I'm out of paint, and then I'm going to have to go back and get it because it doesn't work as well. So I have to put it aside. Oh, I keep saying I was going to call the company, but guess what? I'll put it right here and then go to the site. There's no phone number, but there's a site right here. There's a web URL right here that I can actually go and find that site. So I'll do that later. All right. Now, all of you who are just getting out of Scientology and want to seek aid from the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation, the MJR Aftermath Foundation is at 1-888 free. You spelled the word free and the number's there on your keypad. 002. That's 1-888 free 002. And in the UK, well, I had the number for the UK. All right. And at the SPTV Foundation at 1-727-5797. That's area code 727-5797. And call any of those two numbers. And when you're ready to leave, they'll be there for you. All right. Now, okay. I also got black, brown, pink. Let's see. And this is also dishwasher safe. Okay, it's the same company that actually, I know it's probably the same company. An orange cream. That I don't understand why it's the same company and they make one paint excellent and the other one just horrible. So, all right, but it stains very well and it's dishwasher safe. Here's the blue. I think it's royal. Okay. And this is yellow. All right. And this is like a sky blue. This is the green. Oh, and there's more green in there. So, all right. Oh, geez. All right. So now I'm going to have to pick this up, bring it back up. And it looks like this is better than their other product. or unless it's the distributor, not the company. Let's see. One is, oh my gosh. I think this one's like a turquoise color. And this one is is a dish color. Okay. And let's see here. Oh, wait, is this the same color? No, it's this one, the apricot coal. And this one I think goes here. Atlantis. This was what it says, Atlantis. Okay. And this is actually a soft green. So let's use this on the ones that actually cleared up. And we'll save this. I actually thought that this would make a difference, but yeah, it's not like the same green, but it's still something. Let's see here. Well, yeah, with the softer color green, even though it doesn't match. Let's see here. Well, maybe, but however, let's just go paint it up. Okay, there. So then we're going to go up here, start painting. Let's see how it's going to turn out. All right. And let's see here. Yeah, I don't really think it's gonna. And then we'll come up here and just paint from there. Okay. Now, do we actually think that Scientology's door is going to be shut down for good? Yeah, I don't think anytime soon. And I'm just being real honest. It doesn't really look like it's going to happen. No, even though we want it to, it's so much that we want it to happen, but it just doesn't look that way at this moment. Not while Trump's in office, and there are they have a clever approach to staying open and make it look like that they're actually are doing well when they're doing bad, but it's yeah. And both Pam Bondi and Donald Trump are being a couple of hypocrites when it comes to immigration. Now, they're not doing anything when Scientology is concerned, but they keep talking about sending them back to their country when in fact they're not doing a thing about Scientology. Now, you know what? Painting as well. But let me see here. Maybe if we mix it, something will happen. Now, as an artist, you can actually sample with these colors. So, yeah, they just are not going to do anything. That's just the way it looks. And if you give Trump money, he will look the other way. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to use this color for now because it's going to mess up everything. So we'll go back here, color it in, come here, color this one in. All right, I'm going to come back up here and color this one in. All right, now let me think here. Yeah, it's just not going to happen right now. I think I'm probably thinking William Good's right, that it's going to take at least, he said this maybe a year or two ago, that it's going to be 10 years before they do anything. I'm starting to think he might be right, but it's going to be a little longer than what he said it was going to happen. So I honestly think it's going to take longer than what William Good would say. So, okay. I'm going to go back up here and start painting this. Yeah, I have to finish this paint and then use the other ones. I mean, it's the same distributor, and I can't understand why one paint would work and the other one wouldn't, because this paint is actually showing its true colors. So, all right, there we go. And I'm going to go back up here. Here it is. And go right there and paint the other green in. You know what? I already started on this and it's not the same shade. So I'm going to have to use this until it's gone. And to tell you, it is almost at the bottom. I will actually keep on using it until I get to the end. So this is what it looks like. So let's see here. All right. Go down. Now, whew, they just totally, Scientology is a total waste. They're wasting all of our resources and they're not putting their money into good use. They keep wasting it. So it's just a real bad situation here. I mean, they've been doing this for years, only we were naive to it. Even though everybody's been talking about it through the years, but it's actually the internet that's really putting it out there, because we have the camera in their face now, just like they've been having the camera in everybody else for years. Only their technology is so much scary. I mean, now they have face recognition that they are using on protesters and other people. It's just so scary. And I think the only ones that should use it are police departments, the FBI, but not criminals, and certainly not regular citizens, because it's just too scary. So finally, they are up close and they're filming every single illegal activity that they're doing. But still, the authorities are not doing anything. One, because they think there's not enough evidence, where in fact Claire, Mark, Mike Render, when he was alive, been telling them everything. They told them, and they're still not doing anything. But however, and at the same time, all the victims who are in Scientology are not saying anything, because either they're too brainwashed to even think that they're not being brainwashed, and and they're not saying anything because the fact that Scientology told them not to, and they brainwashed them into not saying anything. But you know what? It's our turn now, because now in one of my links at one of my other channels, I have this artist. Her name is Lila Helton, and she has this real real material that will actually restore a person's memory. It's right on YouTube. Just Google in the board the new age. It's actually new age music, and it just, yeah. Does it work? You know what? I don't know. But why not try it out? So, I mean, some materials will actually relax you, like classical music would. It's not like all the other pop music that makes you just get up. No, this is a different kind of rhythm that just relaxes you. So, would it be used on cult members? You know what? I don't know, but it doesn't hurt to try. And it's just a pretty bad situation. And yeah, it's just really weird that they've been getting away with it for years and the authorities are not doing anything. And they keep saying that there's no evidence, but all the victims came forward and told them everything. Okay. Now, would that music work on a brainwashed person? Maybe it does something, but I'm not a psychiatrist and I can't tell you, to tell you the truth, to be honest with you. But it's certainly relaxing, and it and it actually gets you to actually relax, and that's what it does. But does it actually work on brainwashing? Yeah, because I think it might be having a certain sound to it. So I have her in one of my links. find her, and then put it back. So, and oh, even though, yeah, I don't have a big name, I have actually something to call my own. Am I famous? No, that's not what it's about. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame, even though it's a subliminal message. It's about having something that you call your own. The other thing is just a subliminal message that we've been falling for years. All right. Okay, let me think. Now, law enforcement is just dragging their feet in doing anything to actually help any of the members in Scientology. They just are doing whatever Scientology wants. And it's not really a great thing that they're doing. And Clearwater police are much worse since they let Scientology empty out the entire town. They're not going to do anything. And some of the Clearwater police, some of them, not all of them, are worse because the town just cleared right out and they're not doing anything. They're not going to David Miscavige and Scientology or OSA and saying, you can't do this. It's not right. Yes, I understand the fact that they bought off each and every property just to keep everyone away. They practically scared everybody out of that town, out of the downtown area. And it looks like they're going to start going into other areas in Clearwater and buy everything out. Now, I'm hoping nobody in Clearwater will actually sell them anything because guess what? They already bought one hotel a little next door to downtown. It looks that way since it's been mentioned by another viewer who lives in Clearwater. And hopefully, they're not going to let Scientology buy any more properties. And they hopefully they just will say, you know what? You already shot down the entire downtown area. You're not going to do this again. Hopefully they'll say that, but you know what? You can't really get into a mind of another person and just think, okay, maybe they'll do this. Maybe they'll notice the fact that oh my gosh, these people are coming here and they're going to buy us out. Hopefully when somebody actually does buy it, it's not Scientology, but keep your fingers crossed and hope that they're not falling for it. Because I don't think David Miscavige is going to go directly and say, hey, I want to buy this property. He can't do that now since they know that Scientology brought out the downtown area. And that was, I bet you, that they did buy that hotel specifically for the Sea Org members, for their group, but not anyone else. They're not doing anything in Clearwater to actually suggest that it's gonna that it's gonna bring life. I mean, bring life to downtown or anywhere else. They're not doing it. So hopefully they'll turn around and say, now that the word's out, that they're not doing anything. And now it's been a whole year since I looked at Clearwater and other dates dating back, saying that they were going to fix up the downtown area and bring in newer revenue, but they're not doing it. They're not doing it. I think they're just saying that to give everybody what they want to hear. But no, they're not going to do it. And as soon as Clearwater Council members realize that they're not going to do that, maybe they'll back up. But Ryan Cotton and Joey Menino, I think it was him, are working for Scientology. They're on their payroll. So Clearwater has got to kick them out. So, and keep supporting downtown because that downtown area just fell apart. I think the last meeting they had, I mean, it looked like last year. I thought, you know what, it's not possible. They're not going to actually tell Scientology that they can't have that street. But guess what? A miracle happened, and the mayor says, why did you guys want the street? I'll give you a day to tell me why you want that street, and maybe I'll give it to you. They never specifically say why they wanted that street. Because he's the mayor. They're not going to tell him anything. They just want him to go along on their side. That's what they do to public figures. They don't listen to people like me and you or regular Joe Schmo. They hate us. But to public officials, they'll say, oh, we just need that. I mean, okay, he didn't fall for it. He just said, tell me why you want that street. And of course, they didn't really tell them why they wanted that street. They sent Sarah Heller to get him to give them the street by showing them plans on what they're going to do to the Clearwater area, downtown Clearwater area, but didn't. Real sticky situation. So guess what? He changed his mind and took back and decided to vote for the citizens of Clearwater. He did exactly what they wanted. But the fact that they said they were going to fix up the area and have a new outlook and have people come in, they haven't been doing that at all. So they're a piece of work, let me tell you. But however, things did change on their board before Lena, I forgot her last name, was the go-to girl for David Miscavige, and now she's no longer his go-to girl because guess what? She all of a sudden started thinking, wait a minute, there's nothing going on. There's no revenue coming in. Nobody's coming into the downtown area. They're just keeping the buildings empty. She actually thought that they were going to actually bring people in, and then in fact, she started to realize that, oh my God, there's not going to be anybody coming to the downtown area. It's going to just sit there empty. Finally, she thought that. But yeah, if you go to one of the channels, type in Clearwater and Scientology, and you'll see it. Now, Scientology is going to make up a bunch of hooey saying, "Oh, it's photoshopped," where in fact it's not. They just want to lie again. But, oh my gosh. The things people would say. All right. Now, would I want to go to Clearwater myself? When it actually picks up and I got money to go to, money to have, so I can go there? Maybe. But that town has to improve before I go down there. But am I going to be a hypocrite about it and just go down there anyway and join the protesters? Even though I know that it's not healthy for me because of my status. Well, yeah. Maybe. I'm right now. No, I'm not going to go down there. But am I going to change my mind? Probably not. Because there are people down there that will follow you all the way home. And that's due because of Scientology. So we're going to keep being the advocate, and hopefully the rest of you would come in and jump in and join the cause. So, all right. Now, the only way anyone can actually go downtown, in a downtown area, is if Scientology decides to just give up, fold up shop, and just leave. That's what I'm wondering. Okay, it's all right. Yeah. Yeah. The only time I think they'll go downtown is if Scientology just leaves. It doesn't look like they're going to go downtown, and it doesn't look like Scientology's going to leave. So it's just looking really bad. And I don't think they're going to fold unless the government officials down there tell them you're no longer wanted, so just leave. They're not going to do that either. So, and everybody in Clearwater is afraid of Scientology, afraid of what they were going to do to their families because yeah, it's just real bad. And if people try to go to the downtown area, they're gonna get followed home. And there's no way they should live like that. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go right here to this area. Bring it down. This is just totally weird because these paints that are from the same company or is working, but this one isn't. Why? Now we're gonna go up with this one. We're gonna cover this one up. All right. Whew. That was a big breath I took. And are they actually trying to do it in other parts of the world? Well, L. Ron Hubbard Way is an empty street, but there's still neighbors living on there. And they're just giving their neighbors a real hard time when it comes to living on that street. So, right now, it looks like that street is sitting empty. Did they actually try to go into Columbus, Ohio and try to empty out? It looks that way since Darth Beaver mentioned actually smarter than downtown Clearwater and the owners. And it looks like they had nothing to want to do with them. Or okay, right there. All right. It's the same distributor, but who knows? Maybe they're only interested in making the money. Can never tell. Okay, let me think here. Now, are they doing it in the other parts of the world? I think so, because they're causing so many problems in St. Hill, and it looks like they're trying to get everybody to leave. But you know what? Nobody in that area is backing down, and they're not leaving. But are they trying to get them to leave? I think they are. But you know what? We can always ask Alex what his 2 cents are. Now, yeah, nobody's going to leave that area. But I think that's the way Scientology is acting. They're scaring off all the birds and animals. They're destroying the property, but yet nobody wants to leave. So, and they're also doing it in some other parts of this country, the US. I think they might. So, talk to your local officials, talk to any of them and get them to listen. And guess what? It worked for me because last election, I actually talked to the mayor, and she said she was going to give it to the superintendents of school. Now, where in my area right now, I'm not going to say anything. And I'm not going to disclose the area that I'm in. Oh my gosh, I'm an hour into my video or stream. Yeah, I think it looks like I'm gonna have to finish this before using these paints. I'm just so excited about them. And then I'll fold it up and then just say, you know what, I have to wait because none of these are the same green and there's no red in the mix. So the only red I have is this, and it's made of red. It technically this would sort of count as a shade of red, even though it's a lighter color. This would classify as red, even though yeah, it's pink. So this is actually made from red. We all know that for sure. Oh my gosh. All right. Am I going to be here for the whole 2 hours? Let's see. Okay. Now, is Scientology going to care what we think, what we say? I don't think so. I don't think they are going to care. They're only going to go to the government officials and what they want. Yeah, they're not going to come to us. Not at all. So now, so far, yeah, downtown Columbus is not letting them have that because they got kicked out. According to Darth Beaver, I believe every single word because they're they're playing people like a fiddle. Oh boy, I have to keep brushing until it actually ends. Oh my gosh. Am I halfway to being done with this? No, because this is, I don't know why I even got this. I should have just went into Walmart and just buy this. I mean, this is good for anything, including glass. This is good for wood, paper, canvas, metal, tins, terra, and it's good for glass too. So this is complex. So that's okay. Wow, this is such a great day. And I'm sorry I wasn't even in the kitchen today because guess what, everyone? I got so much food in that refrigerator. I just can't pack anything else in there. And top it off, I brought more food from my niece's shower. So there's not enough room in my refrigerator for me to make more food. So we're going to have to wait on that. So it's probably going to be possibly next weekend before you see me do another cooking segment. So I'll just, I decided, you know what? I'll just have today, the whole day in painting. Oh my gosh. And I actually am more relaxed painting than when I'm around my brother or sister-in-law. But their kids is another story. I love being around them and and they are actually they're they're my rock, even though I don't have any kids. Now, am I going to actually sell any of these things? I hope so. I'm going to keep painting, drawing, and then try to also draw people until the end of my life. And that includes performing in front of a camera or or on stage. But it's been a while since I've been on stage. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to use my education somehow. But at the same time, I'm like, I found my niche. It's actually on my own projects because guess what? I got my own ideas about history and what I want to do. So, yeah, I got one idea that anybody in Hollywood or in New York or anywhere else, this is my idea of actually putting my theory to work. That's what I'm going to do. Now, paid. So from now on, I'm just going to buy these. Okay. There. Alrighty. All right. Wow, it's just been such a perfect day and coming up with something to talk about because this is what it is, improvisation. You improvise on what you want to use. And of course, I found it. And of course, I talked about Clearwater and then went into what was in Ohio. Now, what's in Boston, where I grew up? It is unbelievable that Scientology chooses to go into an area where I once used to be at, where I used to go on all my appointments when I was a little girl, walking hand in hand with my mother growing up. And then all of a sudden, these people come in, take over. I mean, I know what's in that building. You go up, and there are a bunch of offices. I even went into that building. There's really nothing much to see. And they're renting that whole thing out. You go in, and there are a bunch of offices. In each and every door that's behind there. Even though it was the wrong building, do I actually remember it? It's too foggy. And yeah, I don't remember, but I bet you that's what it is. And that's what it is. You go in and it's a bunch of offices. I was actually in those, even though it's been years and it's too foggy in my head. But that's what it is. Because I've been in that building before. Yeah, then they come in and just, I don't know if they have that entire office space or. Now we're gonna have to ask the Boston crew. And once I go back, if I go back, maybe, just maybe, I'll go down. Well, yeah, maybe I'll protest and maybe I won't, but I don't want people following me home. It's not good for me to actually have people do that. Okay. You know what? Oh, I still have to check my messages and if see if anyone returned my call. Now, either they don't want to get back to me or they're too busy. But I'm going to try again. Where, what town, I am not telling. Because if I tell you, then Scientology is going to jump on it. I can't let that happen. So I'm going to play it by ear and think, okay, what else should I do? All right. I went in 1 hour and 41 minutes. All right. Take a deep breath and then. Now, as soon as I finish painting this, I'm going to cut out. So now I should move and find another part of this. All right. Whew, I'm just so out of breath for talking so much. Let's see. To other topics like Jehovah's Witness, what are they up to? You know what? Are they more in your face than Scientology? No, even though they'll go up to other people's door and start talking about God and Jesus in their own version. Okay, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If they want to believe what they want to believe, it's fine. It's their tactics that they use by going up to other people's doors and saying, well, have you heard the word or whatever? So, no, I don't really think that I don't think they're worse than Scientology, because Scientology is more in your face than Jehovah's Witnesses. And you're most likely to run into a Jehovah's Witness more than 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 running into a Scientologist, because there's not many Scientologists left. There were big in the 80s and 90s, but then they just dropped off and their members left. And they can't get a single member in to their doors. But is Jehovah's Witness shrinking? No. Tell you the truth, they might have 8 million members. They got more members than Scientology. So, and get this, they would think that they're evil, which they are, but so are they. So they're the biggest hypocrites of them all, just like Scientology. So do we all like it when they actually show up at the door? No, we don't. And we want them to leave us alone. At first, I had no idea that they were actually a cult until the line of abuse was happening with young children. So, yeah, now they are a cult and think like a cult, even though it wasn't obvious at first. So, it could, I mean, they can A cult can start in any shape or form. They can make it up, like L. Ron Hubbard, or they'll use an original God and Jesus mode and put it in their own version. And since people were messing through the Bibles throughout the years, they, okay, boy, they, hopefully this will come out, but I don't think it's going to be see-through. All right, there we go. Now, oops. Oh no. I gotta take this off because, all right, maybe this is, yeah, it's going, I'm gonna use my imagination and say this is going down like that. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And it takes an imagination to actually draw and paint. I am just exhausted from this. So I'm going to keep on painting until this is done and then call it a day. And then it doesn't look like I'm going to actually bring you how L. Ron Hubbard brought his methods into play until Wednesday. Let's see how it's going to work out. Most likely, I'm not going to do this until Wednesday. I'm just slow at moving. So, and then I'll bring you another animal rights story and find what I can find, because with Scientology, it's so hard to find an animal rights story. The last one was Scientology versus the mafia and in the treatment of animals. So that was the last story I brought. Now I'm going to make more changes to my channel and see if I can get people to actually intern from colleges. Which one? Oh, forget it. I can't tell you, because then Scientology is going to jump on it. And of course, we all know what they do. Okay, let's see. Come here, some patent here. So I have to keep using this until it's done. That's all I have to tell you. This paint is pretty shoddy. I'm going to most likely use this. So, okay, maybe I'll go back and try and find this at Walmart. All right. Now, I'm just out of breath from talking so much. So, whew, what a day I had. So, looks like I will, and it's now 1:15. So it looks like I went in for almost an entire hour now. So yeah, with these flowers, I don't know when I'm going to actually get to them. Right. All right. Whew, I am just so out of breath. Let me tell you. So what else am I now? Am I going to be protesting? If I was going to tell you right at this moment, I would say no, but I don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I'm playing the wait and see approach. So, and I'm hoping that I actually going to succeed in all my projects. Now, it is too nerve wracking. It is too nerve wracking for actually doing something because it is just so hard sometimes. But you know what? I am getting in touch with this one person, but she's not calling me back. Or, yeah. And of course, this is an assistant of a person that I'm actually want to be interested in talking to. So I'm going to call again, even though I keep saying this, and see what I'm going to do. Am I going to actually pull it off? I think I will. Whew, boy. Am I halfway there? I think I might be. Let's see. Like the Bon Jovi song, Living on a Prayer. Okay. And let me see. Yeah. And it's coming, and spring break is coming up. So I'm going to have to get a move on before the college students actually go on spring break. So let's see what's going to happen. Okay. And I did get in touch with the person at that college, and she didn't understand what I was trying to do, and I might have gone to the wrong person. I was meant to go to one area and not the other, but I'm going to try again. So, okay, there we go. Now, let's see. I think I might use yellow and blue to make purple, or maybe a lighter color. So I'm going to check my color wheel to see what's going on. Ooh, I am just running out of stories to tell you. So let me think here. Yeah, I'm going to keep on going until I'm finished with that shade. Let me think here. Yeah, since I'm running out of things to talk about, I think I probably should cut out. So let me finish this, and then I'll cut out, and then come back tomorrow at 1, because that's what timeline I've been given. So, and then I'll see what else I can come up with. But however, I'm not gonna. It looks like I'm not gonna bring you that story about L. Ron Hubbard's methods until Wednesday. But I've been taking too long on it, and I apologize. So I'll just now. I'm almost done, and I'm gonna actually now. Okay, now that I'm at my crafts table, tell me what design you would love to see, or if you want me to go to one of my other canvases, put it at the link down below and I'll let you know. So I'm going to finish up here and then I will. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm not going to buy this particular paint again. There's no way. Okay. But I will buy this. The next time I go back to Walmart, I'll just get those paints. Okay. I'm almost there, so let me know what you want to see since I'm at the craft table. Or do you want to actually see me not paint but do another project, which I can't imagine that I would because I love to paint. Those other stuff, the dream catchers and those. I like the dream catchers, don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking, well, and guess what? I am cutting out now, so and it has been an hour and 25 minutes, and here it's been, yeah, 2 hours. So I'll cut out. And then, so let me know what you want to see at my crafts table. Do you want me to actually go to my canvas? Because I got one done. So if you want to see me go on to one of my canvases, I will do that for you. But so thank you for dropping in. And I know you guys are trying to actually hang on to my channel and tell you all the good stories that I'm coming up with. So I'm actually going to try and leave my comfort zone and go to an animal shelter that dealt with animals that were victims of the cult, like Scientology, and see what other stuff that's out there. So hit the like. I know you can do it. And please press subscribe. I know you can do it. But you know what? Let's make a deal. Hit the subscribe when actually coming onto my site. And I know you'll actually dropped in on me. But if you don't, I can't make you. But guess what? Just hit that subscribe and the like. And if you want to contribute to my channel, go to the PayPal below. So hit the like, press subscribe. I know I said this too many times. And I'll see you tomorrow because Monday I ate at my crafts day. So see you later.